parents, and happy Monday. Today is the beginning of a new week. We are still continuing with the same lesson, lesson 8. We started lesson 8 on Friday with session 1. It was just a short introductory lesson, so we did that homework in class together, which is why there was no video for that. But today we are going on to session 2. So with session 2, we are more so looking at the order of the numbers, or the order of the factors. Remember, factors are the two numbers you're multiplying together. So, are the numbers you're multiplying together. So today we mostly focus on the factors and the order of the factors. So let's go ahead and get started with the homework for today. So I'm going to start on page 191. That's where homework begins. And it says, for each array, write how many rows there are, how many dots are in each row. Then write a multiplication equation. So they want us to take these two arrays. You have one here and one here, and then fill in the information here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have been working with arrays for quite some time now. They actually today introduced our equal groups back, and a lot of kids, they prefer equal groups, so they were excited about that. So now we're back to using arrays and equal groups. So if you see your student using equal groups, that's perfectly fine, because that's coming right back around again. So let's go ahead and look at number 1. So if I look at number 1, this is the array for number 1. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, or 4 in each row. So if I was to go ahead and fill in this information, it has blank rows. When I look at this, I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, so I'm putting 5 on my line. Now it says dots in each row. So we're going to count how many we have in each row. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in each row. And if you look at each row, you can go ahead and see that there are 4 in each row. So 4 goes here. Okay, so now we are going to write the multiplication equation for this array. Now, before I always told you what line meant what when we're writing the multiplication equation. Well, the same thing applies here. The first line is going to be for your rows, and the second one is for your columns. Then the last line is your product, which is the answer to your multiplication equation. So let's look at this. How many rows I have? Well, we put 5 rows, so 5 goes on the first line. The columns, well, that's the same thing as saying how many are in each row. So we had 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'll put 4 here and 4 in each row. Then the product. To figure out the product, we can do a skip count, or if you already know what 5 times 4 is, because we've been doing the skip counting, and we've been practicing our facts in class. We've been doing multiplication battles. So you guys are starting to get in the groove of that and shooting these facts out like that, and I'm so proud of you guys for doing that. Keep practicing, because the more you practice, it's just going to keep coming quicker and quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and do a skip count for this array, and because there are 4 in each row, I'm going to skip count by 4. So this is going to be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So now I know that the product of this array, or the product of this multiplication equation, is 20. Okay, let's go to the second array. So for the second array, I'm going to count my rows again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And remember, rows, they go side to side, or left to right. Okay, then I'm going to count how many dots I have in each row, which is the same thing as saying counting the columns. And that goes up and down. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 dots in each row. So now we're going to go ahead and write the multiplication equation that matches this array. We already wrote what each line means, so we know what to put here. So when we go with our first line, remember that first line is for your rows. So I have 4 rows, and 4 is going to go here. All right, then when I go to the dots in each row, are the columns for this line, because we said the second line was for our columns, there are 5. Now all we have to do is put the product, which is the last thing. Okay, we can skip count again, or if you know the answer to this without doing that, that is great. Go ahead and put it, but Ms. Newman likes to double check, so she's gonna go ahead and do her skip count because I just like to make sure my math is checked. So let's go ahead and do that. So because there are 5 in each row, I'm going to skip count by 5. So I'm gonna write that skip count on the side. This is going to be 5, 10, 15, and 20. So I know that the product of 4 times 5 is 20. Now this is what we did in class. We had equations that had the same factors. Our factors are 4 and 5. These are our factors. I'm circling the factors. You don't have to do that. Ms. Newman is just in a teaching moment right now because I want to show you what's the factors. The factors may change their order, but the product of 20 will remain the same. So the question we would ask in class is, how would you know that the product will be the same when you have factors that are the same? It's because the factors are the same, we automatically know that the products are going to be the same. So even though this one had 5 times 4 and this one had 4 times 5, they're the same factors, so that means we're going to have the same product or the same answer. So that's basically what the whole lesson was about today. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 says, you know that 3 times 9 equals 27. Okay, explain how you know that 9 times 3, know what 9 times 3 equals. So same thing I was just explaining, because we know that 3 times 9 equals 27, well, they want to know, how do you know the answer of 9 times 3? Well, we already know what that answer is going to be because it's the same factors. It's still 3 and 9. Yes, the order changed, but that doesn't mean the product will change because we're using the same numbers. So that's how we know. We know because they have the same factors. So we know the product because they have the same factors. All right, and that is numbers 1 and 2. Okay, let's go ahead and go to number 3. Number 3 is now going to the back side of our page, which is on page 192. And I'm going to go ahead and move my board to number 3. So this is number 3. I went ahead and kind of pre-wrote it for you so you don't have to wait. Now, for number 3, it says Daniel colors a grid to show 4 times 6. So this is the grid that Daniel colored. It is 4 times 6 equals 24. They already have it on their 4s. So then it says color the other grid. So they want us to color this grid to show 6 times 4 equals 24, which is underneath. Okay, we can do that with no problem. So first of all, let's look at our grid. We can think of our grid as rows and columns. Rows again go side to side. Columns go up and down. So we can think of it that way. So if I look at this one, I don't know if you can see it. I kind of shaded it in a little bit so you can see. I know it's not the darkest color. I tried to find the darkest color without kind of covering up the white lines for the squares. So I'm hoping it shows up pretty well on the video, but if not, you can go ahead and look at your page. It's the same thing that's on the page. So this grid, the first number, remember your first number is going to be your rows. Second number is your columns. And the last number is your product or your total. So let's look at that. So this tells me I should have 4 rows colored in. So let's look at this. So if I look at this, starting here, I have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows. So that tells me I have my 4 rows colored in, and this is correct. Now, let's go to the columns. It's telling me that I need 6 columns colored in. So let's look at this. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I do have 6 columns colored in. Or you can look at it as 4 rows with 6 in each row, if you look at it that way. So all together, I should have a total or a product of 24. So let's count our squares to make sure we have 24 squares colored in or shaded in. I just like to double check. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but Ms. Newman, of course, I just want to make sure my math is correct, so I always check. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So when I counted all my shaded in squares, that gave me the product of 24. So everything has checked out, and that's good. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. So they tell me that I need, remember the first one is going to be your rows. Second one is your columns. And the last one is your product or your total. So it tells me that I need to shed in 6 rows. So let's count my 6 rows. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I'm gonna stop here when I do my shedding. I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna go all the way down to number 1. Now let's count our columns. So I need 4 columns. So I'm gonna count that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I'm only going to color up or shed up to this part. So let's go ahead and start shading in. All right, so I'm gonna color up to this part, up to that 6, and I'm gonna stop where the 4 is here. Won't go past that. That's all I'm gonna shed in. I'm hoping you guys can see it. I know it's a really light shedding. I couldn't get it any darker, and I didn't want to completely shed it to where you couldn't see the grid. So I truly hope you guys can see it. All right, so now that is shaded in. I have 6 rows shaded in with 4 in each row. So the last thing I'm going to do now is to count to make sure I have 20 altogether shaded in. So I'll start here with 1. Oh, Ms. Newman still has the shader in on, so let me erase that and go back to my pen. All right, here we go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So Ms. Newman has all 24 shaded in, and everything is correct. So we did everything for number 3. Good job. Let's go ahead and go to number 4. So number 4 says, explain how you know there are the same number of colored squares in both grids in the box. Well, how do we know it's the same? Is because Ms. Newman went in and she numbered all her grid, all her colors. But that's not the thought they want you to have. The thought they want you to have is to basically look at your factors. How do we know it's going to give me the same product of 24? It's because I have the same factors. I have 6 and 4 that I'm still multiplying together, so that's how I know it's still going to give me the same total amount of blocks shaded in, because I have the same factor. So the question again asks us, explain how you know there are the same number of colored squares in both grids. It's because we use the same factors of 4 and 6. Okay, but of course, you know, Ms. Newman went in and actually did her count, because Ms. Newman likes to make sure everything is right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to number 5. Okay, number 5 is on my next page. Let me get to that. Okay, so number 5 says this array shows 4 times 3 equals 12. So this is the array, and they're telling me that this shows 4 times 3 equals 12. This is what it's showing. That's what they said. Okay, it says draw an array that shows 3 times 4 equals 12. So they want me to draw another array that shows 3 times 4 equals 12. Okay, so let's look at this one first. So let's double check to make sure that's exactly what our array is showing. So remember, the first number 4 is your rows. So I should have 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do. So I'm going to give it a check. That worked out. Now the third number, remember, that's our columns, are how many we have in each row. So let's go ahead and see if we have 3 of those. So I have 1, 2, 3 columns, but I also have 3 in each row. So that checks out. Now, they tell me that the answer, or the product, is 12. So let's go ahead and do a skip count so that we can make sure that 12 is the correct answer. So because I have 3 in each row, I'm going to go ahead and skip count by 3. This is going to be 3, 6, 9, and 12. So 12 checks out. That tells me everything is correct with this array. Now they want me to go ahead and draw an array for this equation of 3 times 4 equals 12. So let's go ahead and do that, remembering that our first number 3 that stands for the rows. So that means I'm going to have 3 rows, but then the second number 4 tells me how many I'm going to have in each row, are the columns. So I'm going to have 3 rows with 4 in each row. So that's what I'm going to draw right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 row. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 3 rows. So now I have 1, 2, 3 rows, which is the 3 that I have here. And I'm going to count how many I have in each row, or how many columns I have. I should have 4. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that works out too. And now we need to see that 12 is the correct total amount we have in our array. So I can do a skip count to make sure that is correct. Because there are 4 in each row, I'm going to skip count by 4. This is going to be 4, 8, and 12. So I did get 12, so everything in my array checks out and everything is correct. All right, guys, going on to the last problem, number 6. Number 6 says, Avery has 3 baskets with 9 flowers in each basket, okay? Ralph has 9 baskets of flowers. If he has the same total number of flowers as Avery, how many flowers does Ralph have in each basket? Okay, so let's start off. We have 2 people. We have Avery and then we have Ralph. So let's go ahead and write the people that we have. So I have Avery and then I have Ralph. All right, so they told me that Avery has 3 baskets. Okay, let's draw Avery's 3 baskets. That's 1 basket, 2 baskets, and 3 baskets. So that's Avery's 3 baskets. They tell me that she has 9 flowers in each basket. Okay, so let's put her 9 flowers in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I'm gonna put 9 in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, let's put her 9 flowers in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So each basket has Avery's 9 flowers. Okay, now if I was to write a multiplication equation for this, let's look at this. So this is going back to the equal groups, our groups and the size of each group. So when I look at this, when we do a multiplication equation for this, it'll be blank times blank equals blank. Well, for this, your first number is going to be your groups. The second number is the size of each group, and the last number is your product. Okay, so now my groups are my basket. That's what's holding everything together. That's my group. So I have 1, 2, 3 groups. So 3 for my first number because I have 3 baskets. Now the size is how much I have inside of each basket. So inside of each basket we put 9 flowers. So this is 9. Now to figure out the skip count, we can skip count by 9 because there are 9 flowers in each basket. That'll give us our product. So let's go ahead and do that. That'll be 9, 18, and 27. So just like they told us in the story, well, they didn't give us the total in the story, but 3 times 9 equals 27. Okay, now let's go to Avery. So now, Ralph. So for Ralph, they tell us for Ralph that Ralph has 9 baskets of flowers. Okay, let's draw Ralph's 9 baskets of flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so I have my 9 baskets. Okay, let's go ahead and do the flowers. Well, they didn't exactly tell me the flowers. So what Ms. Newman is going to do, she's going to start Ralph's multiplication equation because that'll help me figure out how many flowers he has. So I'm going to put it on the side right here. So it'll be blank times blank equals blank. So again, remember the first number is your groups. Second number is the size of each group. And then the last number is your product. Okay, so now we know that Ralph has 9 baskets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So remember the baskets, that's my groups. That's what's holding everything together. So this is going to be 9. Now, if we go back to our story, they give us a hint. The story says, if he has the same total numbers as Avery. So they're telling me that whatever total Avery has, which was 27, Ralph is going to have the same thing. So I can go ahead and put that 27 on the line. Okay, so all I have to do is figure out what's the missing number. I need to figure out how many, because they asked me how many flowers does Ralph have in each basket. Now I just need to figure out what's the size. How much does he have in each basket? Okay, well, if it's going to be the same, the only missing number from Avery's equation is 3. So it could possibly be 3. So Ms. Newman is going to put 3 here, but I'm going to go ahead and put 3 flowers in there in each basket. Once I do that, I'm going to do my skip count just to make sure that 3 is correct. So I'm going to go put 3 in each basket. This is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now each one of my basket has 3 flowers. Now to make sure that we did the correct thing by putting 3, we can do a skip count. The skip count will check our work to make sure it's correct. If we get a total of 27, then we know 3 is correct. So let's go ahead and do a skip count. Because there are 3 in each basket, I am going to skip count by 3. So this is going to be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So when I did my skip count, I did get 27. So that means 3 would be correct. So now we can go ahead and answer the question at the bottom. It says, how many flowers does Ralph have in each basket? And on that line where it has blank flowers, we can go ahead and put the number 3. He has 3 flowers in each basket. Okay, that is it for today. So again, today's lesson is basically, they wanted you to see that you can have the same factors, but they can be in different orders, but it will still give you the same product because it's still the same numbers you're multiplying together. Continue practicing that skip counting. Make sure you are working on your multiplication facts. Our quiz is on Friday. Wednesday is red, we're wearing red, it's Red Ribbon Week, but we're going to be celebrating Red Ribbon Week on Wednesday, and everybody is allowed to wear red on that day. So make sure you are doing that. Also, I'm going to be giving away 5 bonus points to students who send me our parents, students, either one. I want to know, what is Helix school motto? They say something every morning over the intercom when they do our morning announcements. It's on the big wall in the hallway. So it's everywhere. So I want you to send me the school motto, and if you do, I'll give you 5 bonus points. So make sure you get that in before the week is out. You have until Friday to go ahead and send me that. That is it for today. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you on tomorrow with another video. Bye.